Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me is the man who is on time, Dan Murphy.
On time and here. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Great. The man who didn't get a phone call, Logan Corkins.
It's just like my DMs on Bumble. I never get replies.
Sounds like the man who's
Only farmer.
moving tables, Phantom, NXS, Jesse Douglas.
How's it going?
I don't know why I said that, because it's never what I call you. That's fine. And last but not least, the man who's late, who was celebrating his upcoming birthday with a perfectly made bed behind him, LeRon Dawkins.
There's too much white for it not to be suspicious.
It's so suspicious.
Okay, break out the black lights.
Don't turn out the light, though. It's going to look like somebody got murdered in there.
All I'm going to say is, Mom, don't check my bed. Don't.
Don't check any bed for that matter.
Does your mom listen to the show, LeRon?
Oh God, no. Funny story. When I first got hooked up with Boss Rush and stuff, and my mom would call me sometimes when I'm actually getting prepped for either Crossroads or getting prepped for the Boss Rush podcast or whatnot, and I'd tell her I'm getting ready to go online for a podcast. And my mother, she turned 68 years old this year. She's like, go online for what? I'm like, a podcast. And she's like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, I'm going to be online talking to people. And I kid you not, there was like a space of a pause. And she's like, are you exposing yourself on the internet? And I was like, no, Mom, I am not. You're about the OnlyFans. She's like, no, Mom, I am not. And why would you think something like that?
Yeah, why did she go right there?
I was a good, wholesome young man when I was growing up. I caused my mother no trouble. There was no pregnancy scares when I was a kid. There was nothing like that. I don't know where she thinks I'm exposing myself on the internet. I mean, I could be, but I don't know how she's thinking that.
She listened to the second episode of
That's what it was. Oh
God. Oh man, I'm not exposing my feet to the internet again.
Oh God, yeah, that was how that started.
What's the rule in 2021? No feet for free.
Oh God.
Spoken like a true OnlyFans creator.
Yeah. Wow, this show, man.
Oh my God! Hey, you guys started this. I had nothing to do with this one.
You technically started this when you were like 30 minutes late, and you left us.
If you showed up on time, none of this would have happened.
Things on our own imagination.
This is how this started. Okay, he said at 8:01, "Hey, I'm going to be a tad late." A tad late
for the 8:30 podcast.
Yeah. He said, at dinner, it's running a little long. I said, lame. And then I said, are you roasting a whole pig? ? And that was at 8:58. So, and then he stopped texting me and started texting Dan. I feel like he thought I was mad.
No. Dan texted me first. And Dan texted me directly on my phone. He was like, "No, we're not sliding the DMs on this one."
I'm just so used to going into the DMs that maybe I should just start using people's real phone numbers. I have everyone's phone number.
When LeRon seems to be in the DMs, he just passes over it. So I gotta text him.
He just assumes that they're unsolicited pics.
This isn't a guy hitting on me. Next.
Oh God.
Gotta guard myself now that I'm attached.
Oh boy. Wow. I hope that this person does not watch this show.
I'm up. I'll probably unattached so fast.
Oh,
Well,
God.
and if they do, you know, like you'll find out if they have a good sense of humor.
Oh, God,
Oh. Hello,
Hey,
LeRon's Ball and Chain. I'm Corey. Nice to see you, meet you. Hope you're watching. If
No,
not,
is
well,
it ball and
you know.
chain or is it a lightsaber duel partner? I mean, like how? What do you call it? It's gotta be fun.
Why not both?
It's a little soon for ball and chain. We'll
Yeah,
go with
it's
lightsaber.
yeah, lightsaber duel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm like a dark skinned black man because you guys can't see the blush right now.
God. No, you just got darker.
No, we still can. Yeah, like, that's the worst part is when a black man gets sunburned. You can tell. It's like, whew. Like I get sunburned just from standing outside for 5 minutes.
Mm.
Man,
Man,
it's funny.
we're getting canceled. I made a black joke.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
My channel's still thriving after the S bomb got dropped.
What
Oh,
is the
boy.
S bomb? What is this? Clarify.
We can't say it on Twitch.
Yeah, we can't say it on
You can say the
is
N word,
it
but
that
you can't
one?
say the S word on Twitch, guys. Remember that.
Apparently.
I know it's
Wait,
true.
Is,
Sorry.
is it the one that like you follow something that everybody
Yeah.
or that somebody tells you? Oh, okay,
It rhymes a gimp.
And pimp.
okay.
And pimp. Which apparently LeRon is now. So.
Who taught Austin that word? He didn't know that word before. We joined Boss Roy.
Speaking of black jokes.
Wait, so I blame it on Land Party then, right? Is
Yeah.
that who I blame it on?
Yeah.
Sure, like we've never had a filter.
It's like Austin. We have to have a conversation after the show wraps.
Wow.
We had a conversation on this upcoming Wednesday. We had a conversation about bull testicles. So
All right. Well,
About eating them or
we're gonna.
yeah. Talk about
Let
Rocky.
Let Corey do his. Let Corey
Yeah.
do his thing. Corey's hosting the show. Let him do his
Jeez.
thing.
Can I make my really terrible transition that I was gonna make earlier, but then you guys just kept going. I said, speaking of black jokes, we're gonna talk about why controversial doesn't always mean bad. Okay, that was a terrible transition. It's
That
fine.
was bad.
It's
It
fine.
was a bad transition.
It's fine. When Twitch realizes I made that joke, we will be streaming to YouTube next week.
Go back to Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Well, I've already been testing. I've already
Periscope.
been testing the waters. I've been testing the waters on YouTube. YouTube might be my new home soon.
So this weekend on BossRushGames.com, BossRushNetwork.com, we had an editorial go up that was pretty controversial in a few ways. Not in a bad way. It was more of just like an opinion, right? It was the title of the editorial is "No Video Games Cannot Be Art," and let's just say I got a lot of interesting DMs this week about this, including from people we know that have been on the show before. That it should be taken down, and I respectfully disagree with them in terms of it's somebody's opinion, and somebody's opinion should not be censored. I would say,
never censored opinion.
they're
yeah, I thought it was a really good article. I mean, yeah, like it brings up good discussion. Like that's
And that's the discussion we're going to begin the show with this week. Usually we begin with a Boss Rush banter for the upcoming week, but I feel like we got enough response, I'll say, to this to talk about this, because I think it is important to talk about if video games should be considered art. And I just kind of want to go around and see what people think about this, because I have my own opinions. And if does anybody want to start? Does anybody want to talk about if video games should be art or not?
I could go. I don't have
Jesse.
I don't have a whole lot to say. But like, like I read it, and I kind of read it twice, and like I do half agree with with what he said, like, I do think that some games technically aren't really art. Like, I mean, obviously you're using art to make the piece, like, like artwork as far as like animation, all that kind of stuff. But like the project, I do think that some projects as a whole aren't always considered like an art piece. I mean, it's more of a collaboration.
There's a big difference between something like Journey and Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Where Journey was clearly set out to be like, we're trying to tell something here through art. The medium video games is a interesting and fascinating way to tell a story through art, right? We can like, we have this very interesting story to tell with no words, right? We have a really clear art direction, but then you get something like Call of Duty where it's like, let's kill terrorists that aren't really terrorists because we can't use the word terrorists, so they're just brown guys with beards that we're gonna go shoot. You know what I mean? Like I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jesse. I just
no, but so this is my theory, like my opinion, I guess, of how I look at the games that I would consider art. Now, if you buy a coloring book that's just a character and there's no color or anything on it, but you color that in, that's still art, correct? Like, that's still like if you buy something that's just a drawing and you color it in and you add to it, is that still technically art? Like, I think that technically is still art. And so like I look at video games as like kind of like that, where you have different people doing parts of the game, but some parts of the game aren't just done by one person. So it's like, like a multiple people coming together to make like an art piece. Like, so like I said, like when you buy a coloring book and someone prints out the pictures, there's a drawing in it, there's no color in it, but you're coloring it in, deciding what colors you want, all that kind of stuff, that it's still technically art, in my opinion, but it's, it's multiple people working on it. But I do think there is a line somewhere where there can be games that aren't really art, I guess.
Yeah,
it is a good, like I said, this is a good thing. Like I think I love this conversation that like it's really made me think a lot about stuff.
Yeah, like a good thing, and I know we're going to talk about it later on the episode, but Horizon just dropped theirs. Like Sony just dropped the Horizon State of Play, right? That game is truly stunning to look at, right? There's a clear art direction. There's a clear color palette they're trying to use. There's a clear, they have a clear sense of direction, right? I would say that the writers of the story are artists for writing it. I would say the concept artists, the artists who are creating the characters and the landscapes and stuff, those are artists. But there has to be an insurmountable technical team, right, that runs the engine to make sure things don't break, to make sure things don't fall through the environments. The gameplay teams, right, like the gameplay designers. I don't know if I would call them artists. I would call them engineers, right?
I would greatly disagree with you, because not everyone has that ability to, let's say, draw. Like, I can't draw for anything, right? But I can make graphic art. Like,
that's fine, but I don't consider graphic designers artists.
But it's my version of art, right? So it's something that, because I can't physically draw, but this is my version of art. It's something I'm spending my time and putting my effort into, and I'm taking that idea and I'm making it into a reality. I think everybody who works on a video game is an artist, from the audio engineer who is trying to find the perfect way to make the sound of like leaves crunching underneath a soldier's boots as they walk. I think that's art. I think obviously the actors who do the motion capture stuff is art, but like even like a game like NBA 2K, right? Like there is art to be seen in that, of from crowd design to the stadiums to just the motion of the game and everything like that. I think every person who works on a video game is an artist.
Even the person who writes the code for the engine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's their version of art. That's how they are able to express or use their talents in a way that creates something cool.
And your ultimate goal as a coder is to create something that wasn't there before, right? And you have to take all these things that you code, you create in music, you create as in design, and you have to put it together and make it one fluid piece. So like I'm on the team that, yeah, video games are art. It's something that you can enjoy visually, and it's something that sticks with you. Just because, coding is a different level and it's not painting, it doesn't mean that the outcome isn't something that could be, artistic. I mean, it is all subjective though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like you look at these characters that are like, they use actors and they scan them into the games for the character models. To me, like, I don't know if that's really art. I don't think doing that is art. And maybe I'm just not on that side of the art, whatever side, but like I feel like somebody who creates a character that without scanning somebody in, or I feel like it's more of I feel like Concrete Genie, something like that, or something like Breath of the Wild has more art in it than something like, I would say, no, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but something like The Last of Us, where they literally scanned in, Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker and altered their face via some, and, there is some art to that, but I would argue that creating what Link looks like in Breath of the Wild, or the characters in Concrete Genie, or something like that, is more art than something like scanning the characters in The Last of Us.
Let me use this though. Okay, so like let's think about Madden for a second, right? How often do we ever think that Madden absolutely nailed the scan in for like Tom Brady, right? Like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, they never look like how they actually are. But like as the games have progressed, they've gone through and they've added more attention to detail, and there is an artist physically putting those little things in, like in Madden 21, for instance. The fact that who's got the dreads on the Steelers? Like somebody paid attention to notice how his hair moves as he runs. Okay, that's cool. That is an artist doing it. It's all those little details. So like even if they are using a scanned in, right, they're still adding those extra amounts of detail that a camera didn't pick up, or that a computer made a mistake on and didn't get perfected. I mean, I think all video games to some extent are art, because you're using a talent to make idea into reality.
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm more with Jesse, where like there's a lot of art in a lot of video games, and I know that like artists work on video games, they work super hard, and making the concept art come to life is a lot of hard work and a lot of artistry, right? But I feel like there are different levels of saying that this is art. It's a case by case basis, I guess, right? Like, well, I feel like something like Horizon is more artistic than something that like Call of Duty, right? Like I really feel that way.
I mean, they definitely have different levels of art. There's different challenges, and there's different aspects that you have to go for. I mean, look at games that like have used water mechanics in a figure, like Sea of Thieves, I think is a beautiful masterpiece of art, because this is a game that finally figured out water mechanics in a way that nobody else has before. That's really cool. But then you take a game like, okay, so how do we feel like about a 3D or like a 2D platformer, right? So like a 2D platform, because they don't have a ton of attention to detail, and they don't have to render in these in the 3D spectrum. Like, that's art, but it's not the same level of art as like a Sea of Thieves or a 3D platformer. Yeah. So like, I mean, there's varying degrees of art.
Like sometimes like I find myself fighting like, okay, well, and this is coming to the conversation now, right, where I just kind of described The Last of Us being kind of scanned in and realistic and stuff, where like as someone who went to school for art, right? Like I went to art school. I really have a tough time finding things that like, this is realistic. This is something you can find in real life being like art, quote unquote. But like you look at shows like so my wife and I watched the Friends reunion episode on, and stick with me, I'm gonna get to the art. We're like, okay, yeah, it just looks like normal people, living their lives with normal clothes and normal jobs or whatever. And you look at them and you're like, well, and I guess this is where I'm making I'm counterpointing my original point, is like, well, someone had to choose the way these characters were going to look, right? Somebody had to choose the way, like, they were going to dress, or how they were going to move across the screen, or how the set design was going to look, right? Like, I guess I just countered my own point. So, well.
But I mean, that's 100% true. There's a great show called Sportsnet that used to air back in late 2000 or early 2000s, where there's an episode where they talk about that. It's like everybody who works on a TV show is an artist to some degree. Of like the wardrobe people, they know exactly how the light is going to react to skin tones and all that stuff. So it's
yeah.
I think my hang up is calling. I don't know. Like, I guess it kind of almost goes against what I was saying earlier, but like
there's a lot of that going on right now, Jesse. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a a good, makes you think. But like, I guess like my hang up is a little bit with calling a game an art piece by itself versus more of a collaboration of art coming together to it's more like a
collaborative effort of multiple different levels.
It's more like when you go to like a art museum and they have a whole bunch of pictures all put in, that are kind of similar or go together or whatever in one area. And do you call that whole entire area an art piece, or is it just a section showing off different pieces of art? I guess I look at games almost closer to that, like as more than one art piece. It's not, it's not. I don't know.
I feel like
it's confusing. Honestly.
I feel like that. To me, I feel like this answer is really complicated in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, when you talk it out, it's more simple than you really think it is, I mean, as we were talking here, I've changed my stance about 3 times.
But yeah, I was gonna say earlier, like when you were talking about how they just scan people into it and stuff like that. Same thing goes with it's. I feel like it still stands out as art on its own, because look at movies in cinema, especially movies in cinema that deal with CG or animated stuff. There's still somebody's acting it, even if it's stage stuff. Somebody's acting it. This character in this book may not have been envisioned to look like David Schwimmer. Since we're talking about Friends, but at the same time, he may not have came out to look like that guy in the vision in the book, but when they put David Schwimmer on stage to act it out, all of a sudden everybody thinks that this is that guy, that they think this is that character, and most people, they can't read an actual novelization or even a fan fiction of Friends and not picture anybody being Ross except that guy. Yeah. Same thing applies when they scan the character the actors, and they become the likenesses of the characters in the games and stuff like that. Also, I will say that when it comes to this, it all boils down to that saying, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." So basically, what the way us as gamers, or the way consumers or whoever looks at it, or even critics and stuff, they're always going to see it for what they want to see. For a lot of us, we're going to see the artistic representation of it, because I mean, we were mentioning Horizon right now, right? Lush backgrounds, character design, creature design, sound design, things like that. That all takes. I mean, if there was no artistic vision behind it, it just looked like it looked like Vib ribbon, in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all in the eye of the beholder, and I totally empathize with people who got all up in arms about the article, you know, when reading the title and having that knee-jerk reaction, because I'll be honest with you, I had that knee-jerk reaction too, but Stoy's my boy, so like I'm willing to listen to him and hear out his opinions and stuff like that.
And, people who got all caught up in arms probably didn't even read the whole article.
They did not.
Right.
They did not. They read the title, and they read maybe like the first 3 or 4 lines of the first paragraph.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about that too. Like, this piece was an editorial. Editorials are opinions, and if you disagree with the opinion, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to send DMs to people about like somebody's opinion. Yes, we do post a lot of news articles. We do a lot of banter pieces. We do everything at the Boss Rush website, but editorials, they're made to be an opinion, and they're made to make you think, and that's what Stoy did with it.
Yeah, and I'm going to tag this article in the show notes because I think if you're listening to this conversation, you should read the article and judge it for yourself. I think a lot of artistic things go into making games. I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. That's not what this conversation was supposed to be about. I know there's a lot of hardworking artists and gameplay designers and environmental designers and puzzle designers and story and writers and stuff that work on these games that bring us joy, right? And at the top of the article, there's a quote from David Lasby, who is head of our writing team. He's the editor-in-chief of the website. He says, Ellipsis should inspire, challenge, or move us to rethink ourselves, our relationships, or our world, and in so doing, to become better. Video games do that for us, and I appreciate and love everybody who makes these things happen for us, because it takes our minds off of a lot of things. It makes a lot of games make us think with their stories. A lot of games are visual masterpieces, right? Like we were just talking about Horizon. It's
here's a I'm a member of the writing team for Boss Rush, and here's what I'll say. Before anyone just like starts blitzing our moderators and our actual like higher ups and stuff, for their own hot take, why don't you do this? Why don't you write your own article, submit it to us?
And I had a few people DM me, and I almost asked them to write their own opinion. I'm like, if you don't agree with this, write your own. Talk to David or talk to Dan. Write your own, and we will find a place for it.
If it has enough weight, yes,
we'll find a place.
Well, the funny thing about this was too, Stoy's piece was a response to David's article.
Yeah.
So it's already been there. But
but because here's the thing about it, like everyone who gets their feelings hurt is quick to call for the censure of somebody else. But the moment that somebody tries to censor them, then it's a problem. So you know what? Use that same energy and write your own rebuttal or your own whatever you need to do. If you need to get it off your chest, like, we will listen to it and hear you out, but we will not stand for the fact that you trying to say, hey, this person needs to stop writing for you guys. This person nedes to have this article retract.
I got a lot of that yesterday.
If there's equivocally false information in something that we put out at the writing team, I'm not lead staff on the writing team, but I'm one of the writers. But I believe that if there's equivocally false information in an article, we will guarantee to do our best to make sure it gets taken care of. Or if we have to issue a retraction, but if there's a retraction issued, there will be an explanation for why it was retracted.
That's why we have copy editors, though, is to make sure Dan's one of them, and
well, that's one of the things with our articles. Like, not only are we editing the grammar or making it look good, but we also have to check everything that's going into it when it comes to a news piece and when it comes to pretty much anything. So there's more to copy editing than just editing. So it has to get passed through filters. Like, our website isn't a blog.
So don't.
Well, and the thing is this article wasn't meant to, it doesn't have malice behind it. It doesn't have like there, like that's the thing is it's like it's all it was an opinion, and it's like he obviously has respect for everyone respects each other in this thing, but we you can have an opinion about something without, and it doesn't mean that just because your opinion is different that you don't like someone, or you don't or you're trying to be insulting, or that's the thing is it's just that's just not what it was meant. That's not what it was about. It was just a really his own opinion, and
Oh boy! Welcome to another episode of the Boss Rush Podcast, where we talk about internet culture. Because if someone says something you don't like, all of a sudden it offends you, and it might as well shot your dog and gave you the shovel to bury it yourself.
Yeah,
everybody's welcome here, right? I think we make that abundantly clear that everybody's welcome to this community. If you're a jerk, we're going to talk to you about it. And if you keep that repeating pattern,
abusive,
you're out.
You're out.
Yeah,
if you're abusive, we're not standing for that.
Yeah, I had a couple people yesterday DM me that said, "I'll read you one verbatim." This person has since blocked me. I'm not going to give them their names out because I don't want to give them a platform. But they said, "Hey, you should fire." Let's see, hold on, where is it? You should fire that writer that said video games aren't art. And by the way, you should just kill yourself too.
Well, and there was no reason. There was no reason for why you should call for the firing of that guy.
No,
not at all.
No.
See, then why should we take your opinion seriously?
Yeah. So I just want to say, before we kind of move on to our next kind of set of things, like Logan said, everybody's welcome here. I don't want to pigeonhole our writers into we have to write about this way, and if you don't, you can't write here, right? Like Dan and I had this conversation too, and David, and I posted this in the writers group on Discord and on Twitter. Like, I'm not going to tell people that they can't write about something as long as it's well written and well researched or has good points to it, right? I'm just not going to do that. It's
Man, I've been trying to get tossed off the writing team. They're like, no, give us more.
I'm just and there's people that we know that told me that should be taken down. If you disagree, start your own website, write your own stuff, I'm tired of people telling us how to run our shows, how to run our site, how to treat our teammates, our team members. If you don't enjoy what we do, you don't have to consume our content. That's the end of the day, you don't have to, or you don't have to guest on our shows, or you don't have to do things for us or with us. You can start your own stuff. No one's stopping you, right? I'm not trying to be malice towards anybody, but if you don't enjoy what we're doing, you don't have to consume our content. I think it's that simple.
Actually, I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you like this: if you're that small-minded that you need to call for somebody who wrote an op-ed, who didn't even write a factual piece. If you need to call for somebody who wrote an op-ed to no longer be a member of the team, you are the most toxic individual out there. And if you have a problem with it, you guys know my social media handle at EXODUS803. Come talk to me. We'll have a conversation about this.
You know all of ours, right? We're gonna fight for our teammates, right? And if we have a problem with one of our teammates, we will talk to them directly, right? We're not gonna blast it on social media in some secretive way. We're not going to, DM somebody else about something else, right? We're gonna talk it out. And so read the article. It's a great read. Even if you disagree with the title, please read it because there's some interesting points in there. And then if you disagree, read David's piece, like Dan said, right? This is a back and forth piece type thing, right? Just read both pieces, and just read both pieces.
And there is, obviously we do want the criticism and stuff from people to a certain extent where, you know, like we do want to make the shows and things better, but you can't pick and choose with certain things. Like, when it's someone's opinion.
Like I was telling Dan before the show, right? We had some opinions on our YouTube channel for Pow Block the other day, right? And you know, there was a lot of different things going on with that episode, right? Like Dan was testing on his first time editing a show. He was hosting because Ed was out. People were giving their opinions on YouTube, and like we were talking, I know Dan didn't really sweat it, but I know David kind of was a little bit down about it. And like my thing is, don't read the YouTube comments, right? If somebody has real constructive criticism, they're going to DM one of us, right? They're going to email us. They're going to go through the proper channels to do it. YouTube is a toxic place to check for comments. And, you know, I thought the episodes were good, right? Like, I thought they were great. I might be biased because, you know, this is our thing. But, you know, just take some time and think before you blow up on the internet if you're going to.
You made it big once you start getting the negative comments pouring in.
Oh,
right?
hell
Am I right, fellas?
Hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody told me I should kill myself. I should be an internet millionaire. So
that's how you know your website is blowing up.
Yeah. So moral of the story, audience, be better.
Yeah. But Stoy, that was a great piece.
Yeah.
You know,
we love you, man.
Yeah, I hope you come back on this show soon and we can have more fun conversations about that. But speaking of good conversations, you know what time it is. It's food time. It's food time.
Yes.
Greg Osterman III
what do we got today?
Writes in. He says, "Hello, bosses. I got a good one for you. What are your favorite fast food places to eat at?" Thanks, Greg. We appreciate you kicking off our shows with your food questions. I'm going to say it right now. My favorite fast food place to eat is Chick-fil-A. I know their practices are terrible outside of it, but man, that spicy chicken seasoning is delicious. Sorry to all my
all the allies
LGBTQ community out there, but I would do horrible things for a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
God dang.
Does your wife know that?
I didn't say I wouldn't do horrible things to her.
Sandwich in front of him.
Yeah.
Can I go next because I know y'all are gonna ridicule me as soon as I say it.
Oh God.
Taco Bell. You're gonna say Taco Bell.
It's McDonald's.
Oh God.
It's McDonald's.
No, McDonald's is universally the go.
It's McDonald's.
Dude, I haven't been to McDonald's in like 15 years.
Yeah. McDonald's is my least favorite place on the world.
Kids in a Happy Meal. This is where you're the terrible parent. Okay.
I will break my neck for a double quarter pounder and cheese. You just don't understand. A double quarter pounder of cheese, no onions, and if the McDonald's is fancy enough, you can get freaking lettuce and mayo and stuff on it. Oh my God.
Yo, lettuce and mayo are considered fancy? Where do you live?
Let me change my stance on it. Like, their breakfast is good, but I just don't
McDonald's breakfast is backslid. There used to be a time.
Come on, McDonald's hash brown is the best hash brown.
That's the best thing about McDonald's breakfast.
I will say though,
the McGriddles ain't it.
No,
the biscuits are the biscuits are no longer it. You know, like
McMuffin,
the chat hates you, LeRon.
Yeah, McMuffin.
Yeah, the McMuffins are still good.
Taco Bell is low-key giving McDonald's a run for their money because
dude, their breakfast is amazing.
Their breakfast is awesome, but they've also started doing the hash brown burrito, which is oh, dude, you need to put the hash brown in the sandwich.
Their breakfast, what is it called? Crunch wrap is so good, dude.
Oh, dude,
put some jalapenos in there. Tell them to put jalapenos in it.
You're having yourself a good morning when you do that. I usually get that the hash brown burrito, but I add the nacho cheese sauce in there just to give it a little bit of heat. Oh, dude.
Why'd you expect better than the guy who works out 4 days a week? He's always got his macros. The moment he gets a damn cheat day, he's rolling up to get it.
Why do you think he was late? His special birthday dinner was McDonald's, and he was doing his. He was doing.
I had a double quarter pounder. I had a double quarter pounder with 20-piece nuggets, and a large fry.
Hey man, I proposed to my wife, and then we went and got crowns at Burger King. But that's because I know my wife, and we both have a good sense of humor. Wow. And don't take things too seriously.
That's true love right there. Because love. She took the Burger King crown over a ring.
Well, I gave her a ring, but we went and got the crowns afterwards to celebrate.
Really, the special moment was afterwards when they're having to trade places in the bathroom because just Burger King just makes you.
Wow, man.
Dan, well, go, man.
Oh, I gotta go with Whataburger. I don't know if you guys had that.
Good.
Yes, it's so good. That one and Chick-fil-A are like the top two.
Yeah.
But I can't eat anything else. If I eat McDonald's, I feel like I'm bloated for a week.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't had that, but I've heard a lot of good things, you know.
Yeah, Whataburger is awesome.
Yeah.
Whataburger. I grew up in Texas. Whataburger was great, but then I discovered In-N-Out.
Yeah.
I thought In-N-Out was so overrated. I'll take Whataburger over In-N-Out any day.
Okay, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Del Taco over.
No,
dude, Del Taco is so good.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to New Mexico, but there's a fast food chain called Blake's Burgers that actually is going to be my vote for best, but nobody's had it, so.
Yeah. For me, honestly, like my new favorite has been Jersey Mike's.
But Jersey Mike's is good.
Yeah, we just got one. I hadn't even heard of it honestly until we got one in town. So, like we went and tried it when it opened up, and I was really impressed. I got the Philly. That was the first time I had a Philly.
So does Chipotle and Subway and stuff count as fast food? Is that fast food?
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Okay.
No, those are fast-restaurants.
Fast-restaurants, yes.
Wow. Fast-restaurants. They're like a step. They're like a step up. You know? Yeah, they're not quite a restaurant, but they're not quite fast food. Fast-restaurant.
Did you know Subway can't claim to be a sandwich shop because their bread has too much sugar content, so it can't be classified as bread.
Their bread is now dessert. Is that what you're saying?
Why is there that much sugar in their bread?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're Italian cheese, which makes a ton of sense because that's the only bread I love from them. Is that their Italian urban cheese per loaf has like as much sugar in it as a 24-ounce bottle of soda.
What?
That's hilarious.
What?
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah. Bread, if it made the right way, like healthy bread, does not taste good, like by itself. Like, yeah, like if it's bread and it tastes
anything
good,
made
healthy
doesn't taste
good.
Okay, no. I am gonna disagree with you. Like a good homemade sourdough, like there's nothing better than sourdough. That's fresh.
Sorry, look, we're not soaking it in Mountain Dew before we bake it there, Logan.
I don't make my sourdough with Mountain Dew yet. I mean, I might. Terrible idea.
I also enjoy Wendy's. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Yes.
When that line for Chick-fil-A is out to the end of the street and Wendy's has no drive-through line, you go to Wendy's.
You go to Wendy's.
Baconator's classic. See, I have to go back and forth between Raising Cane's and Slim Chickens.
Yeah.
I've been in a war between these two trying to figure out which one I like better.
I don't know what either of those things is, so I can't tell you which one's better.
Raising Cane's is, I mean, so they're both chicken tenders, but like Slim Chickens actually has flavor on their actual chicken tenders. Meanwhile, Cane's is just about the sauce. Like Cane's sauce is to die for. It's so good. Oh, okay, Dan, I got a better.
Okay, so the question.
I just had to put Lamberti group chat.
So the question was, what are your favorite fast food places to eat at? Well, given that, because of COVID and stuff now, I just order and pick up and then just take it home. Do I still get the F letter grade for my choice?
Yes. But that's just because
absolutely.
You were late. Yeah, let's see. Is there anything anywhere? No, I'm very just stuck in my ways. It's either Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, or Taco Bell. I won't.
You said McDonald's. You started to say McDonald's.
I know I did. I don't know why I started saying McDonald's.
Well, you started to say it. What's your favorite thing off the menu at McDonald's?
I don't know. I haven't been there.
You haven't been there in 15 years. What was the last thing that you called your favorite?
Breakfast.
Okay. What particular? You know what? I'm not
sausage. I would get a sausage McMuffin with two sausage McMuffins with eggs and 2 hash browns.
Delicious.
I like their breakfast. I don't even remember the last thing I got for normal McDonald's food. I can't even tell
Corey,
you what I got.
Your new homework is you got to take your kid. One, she's got to experience a Happy Meal at some point in her life, man.
Nah, we'll just stick to dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets and watch her throw them across the room.
That's the thing is, I'll take my kids to get McDonald's, but I don't eat there. I just get it for them and I eat somewhere else because I just don't. I'd rather waste my money somewhere else.
I will tell you, it used to be my fat dude cheat meal was I would do 2 McChickens and a McDouble, and that was just heaven on earth to me.
Good Lord,
dude.
Good Lord, I remember you guys. And you guys have the nerve to talk about me modifying the double quarter pounder?
When I was playing,
I didn't bad about it.
Okay.
When I was playing football in college, I used to eat 2 double meat burritos from Chipotle and 2 bags of chips by myself.
God. Were you a lineman?
Yeah, I was. When I stopped playing football, I weighed 359 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, so
that was
awesome.
When I was in cheerleading in college, we had to legitimately live by this diet plan. We had a dietitian who would actually hang out in the cafeteria and occasionally check to make sure that we were getting healthy food. But Fridays were always cheat day, and we had a Freddy's right down the street from campus. Freddy's and what was the other one we went to? Runza. Oh, dude.
Oh, no, not Runza.
Runza.
No.
Give you the
Does it give you the Runza?
So I took my dad to Runza for the first time 3 years ago when him and I were going to get a car somewhere in the middle of Nebraska, and 3 hours into the drive back, he's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "It hit!" I was waiting for it. It hit. No. Oh man, clean up on aisle B. It's just.
Yeah, why? I don't understand why some restaurants will name themselves names that just are not pleasant to be thinking food when you hear that name. I think there's a place called Wex.
Oh, we're gonna run with this name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, if nobody else has anything else to say,
I think we got it all out.
Yeah, I think we.
All right, this is the Boss Rush Podcast, the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about video games and everything we love about them. You can catch the show live on twitch.tv/BossRushGames live on Sunday nights or on Monday mornings on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast apps, as well as YouTube. Please leave us a 5-star review if you listen on iTunes and a nice comment on our YouTube channel. It really helps us grow. You can email the show at bossrushnetwork@gmail.com and follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Join our Discord and our Facebook group to join our awesome communities. You can check out all of our content on bossrushnetwork.com, bossrushgames.com. Check out Boss Rush Entertainment as well. What are we playing? Anybody playing anything? Anybody playing anything fun before we get into our topics? Because we got a lot of topics here.
Yeah, I've been playing Biomutant, and I absolutely love this game. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but But like honestly, I'm being honest here. Like it hooked me way quicker than even Horizon Zero Dawn did. But it has those feels like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like it's very like the world is phenomenal, just like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I mean, it's like breathtaking at times. There's a lot of like cool stuff in the back, like scenery in the background off in the distance that you see, and like you can go to those places and stuff. But like it's very much like one of those kind of games, or like a Breath of the Wild, but all the like combat and stuff mechanics are all like a Devil May Cry or a Bayonetta type game. And then it's kind of got like almost like Borderlands, where like there's literally, you can take all these hundreds of different pieces that you get, and you can mix and match them and make your guns, your weapons, like your melee weapons and all that stuff. You can just completely make them look however you want by mixing and matching all these pieces that can kind of be used. And it's the same with all of your armor and like your outfit that you wear. Each piece of your outfit also has add-ons that you can put and mix and match on it to upgrade like the how well, how much armor your piece has, or how much protection you have from the elements. Because like Breath of the Wild, there's areas that are like where there's zero oxygen, so like you can go in those areas, but like if you don't have a strong enough like protection against those elements, it will start like going up, the numbers will go up really fast and then deplete your health. But if you have a good enough amount of protection against that, it won't start taking your life away too quick. So there's cool things like that. Like at the point I'm at, like you get like a whole mech, that you ride in, and then it allows you to go in some of those areas where there's no oxygen, so you can go and do that kind of stuff in that without having to worry about it. And then on top of that, the mech can also be upgraded, and all these pieces can be added to. I mean, it's just insane how much stuff there is to do in this game. And like I think the combat and everything is done really well. Like, like you can tell that it's not like a high, or a big studio that's got like a crap load of money to just throw around. But it's a really good game, like from what I've experienced so far. And like I really like the, like there's like a English or British guy does like all the narration and stuff, and it almost feels like you're watching a National Geographic show, like because like all the characters just speak in like their own languages and stuff. And so it just sounds like gibberish, and then he'll narrate and say what they said. So it's like, it's really interesting. It's got like humor. It's adorable in a lot of ways, but at the same time, there's a lot of just really cool looking things, and like, everything for me has just worked really well so far. And like the exploration and stuff, like I feel like no matter where I go, like there'll be something there. It's very much like I've looked at Breath of the Wild as like, in that game, for the most part, there's very little places you can go and not find something. And this game kind of does that as well, very well. So yeah, I've been absolutely loving it. And I'm glad I picked it up. I was excited for it at first, but I was, a little worried that it wasn't going to be very good. But But yeah, I would say that it's honestly probably exceeded my expectations at this point. So
nice. I was looking to buy that. I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah.
I'll probably scooping it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
I haven't been gaming too much really the last month, but I just started playing Crosscode again. I don't know if you guys played that.
Yes, Crosscode was amazing.
Oh, it's such a good game. I never finished it the first time around, and I was kind of just scrolling through my games. I was like, I want to try something new. And then instead of trying something new, I went and played Crosscode again, and I'm like absolutely hooked to it. It's such a cool game, such a cool story, and I love the gameplay.
Yeah, especially if you're like into those classic action RPGs, like it's just so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
that's on
awesome.
Game Pass, isn't it? On Game
Yeah,
Pass?
it's on Game Pass. I played it on Switch, but
Okay.
yeah, it's on Game Pass. Optimized for Series X for some reason. Yeah, Crosscode's amazing. So
Yeah, it's a fun game. I think the controls are tight. The story's really good. It's just fun.
yeah. Who else is playing something? Anybody playing anything? I feel like this week I just did not play a lot.
The only thing I played this week was Monster Hunter. Like the version 3.0 patch just dropped. We got technically a new monster, but more like a returning monster. He's called the Crimson Glow Valstrax. Valstrax was what he was in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and yeah, like there's some new and exciting stuff. Like we got some new armor skills going in there. We've got the final. What feels like the final Elder Dragon boss for the game is also in there, and then they added one more monster called the Apex Zenogre, which is basically the correct out version of Zenogre that's already in the game. You may be familiar with him as a deviant version from himself in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate as well.
Yes, I'm very familiar.
Yeah, I know. I know you are. You're Monster Hunter's #1 fan. I know you are.
I am.
They also dropped in a bunch of new advanced quests for the game, as well as there's also a hidden map in there, the Infernal Springs. It's part of some high rank challenge quests, but it's in there. You got to do a couple things for it, and weapon trees got upgraded for the game. So yeah, there's still more content. Capcom did announce that they're doing their crossover content for June and July. So we'll be on the lookout to see what happens.
I love that Capcom's been giving that game so much support already, and it's only been out for what, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like the Rampage quests?
I do. They're fun. For a little while, it took me a little bit to get used to the mechanic and everything, but what I've learned is doing the Rampage quests, like you actually get to put skills onto certain weapons that are not supposed to have them and stuff like that. So I've actually come to appreciate the Rampage quests, and I'm actually starting to do more Rampages.
Oh, nice. I think I've done 2, and I just I feel so lost because
I did. Yeah, I've done all the required ones. There's 3 that are required that you have to do for story progression, and I've done a couple of additional ones. But I'm now starting to actually get into the mode where it's like, oh, I need to appreciate the Rampage quests because like they actually do things for you. Oh, and by the way, I discovered something. I missed out on the amiibo train for Monster Hunter Rise. They released 3 amiibos, and now if you can find the amiibos, they're hard, they're expensive, stuff like that.
Surprise!
So I bought the 3-pack of the NFC cards, and okay, here's something I'm kind of sore at Capcom about. Okay, so when you scan the Monster Hunter Rise amiibos, like you get some alternative costumes and stuff for your character, your dog, and your feline. But did you know that the Monster Hunter Rise amiibos actually give you specialized weapons? I'm sorry, not weapons. Specialized supplies. Let's put it that way. Compared to every other amiibo, like and the cool thing about it is like the regular amiibos that you scan in, they give you some good stuff. But like I mean, like if you guys are hurting for like outfit vouchers where you can basically change like your gender and you look for your character and stuff like that, the Monster Hunter Rise amiibos are where it's at. So you don't have to be doing those crazy quests to get them and things like that.
Awesome.
So yeah. So I mean,
kind of like Breath of the Wild did. They kind of did that too.
Yeah, so I mean, versus paying $150 for those amiibos, because the Magnum Malo amiibo is expensive right now. Instead of paying that, like run to Amazon and spend like $15, find a 3-pack, which is basically the NFC codes for the 3 amiibos that are actually designed for Monster Hunter Rise, and start using those if you can.
It's fair.
So there, I've said my piece, and I said that before I gave you the news on Hunters for Hire. So there you go.
Yeah, I've been playing. So Days of Play has been going on at PlayStation Store. So I picked up PGA Tour 2K21 for like $10. It's such a fun game, great game. And then played Stranded Deep, which was last month's free game a month, and I've been playing Maneater.
Nice. Maneater's
Sounds like you just described LeRon's date today with these 2 games.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Where'd you hide the salami?
Wow, that was mean. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. It's been a long weekend. I've only been playing Destiny, so I was going to play some Switch last night, but I fell asleep super early and I woke up super late. So I slept more in 2 days than I did all of last week. So it was awesome.
Nice.
Man. All right. So we have a few topics to get through. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but there are quite a few. State of Play happened last week. LeRon, I know you're probably going to cover a lot of it on Crossroads. I know you and Logan did a watch along or overview or something of it on your Twitch channel. So you can check that out on the website. I think it's also on your YouTube channel, right, LeRon?
No, not my YouTube. I'm on my Twitch. I had some difficulties in the beginning of it, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So I don't know. Logan, should I upload to YouTube? Should I?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
you
right.
should always upload to YouTube.
All right, yeah, I'll do that. It'll be out and ready by tomorrow, because you guys get a chance to see Logan and I like basically fangirl about everything we saw in the new in the new content release for Horizon Forbidden West. We are a little pissy that they didn't give us a date. We are
saving it for E3, man.
Yeah, save it for the State of Play that we're going to get the week before.
You mean Summer Game Fest, right?
Summer Game Fest, that's right. I forgot Sony is neglecting E3.
Jeff Keighley did some really nasty things to keep that release date for himself.
Honestly, they did the right thing.
He sold him and Kojima's first baby's birthright.
Honestly, they did the right thing, because let's look at it this way: E3 is 3 days. This Summer Game Fest is 33 days, I think.
At least it's not the 90 that it was last year. I mean, that was painful. Like, the week of E3 is hard anyway, just because, like, especially when you cover it, it's just constant, nonstop. I've been to E3 twice now in person. And it's like it's just so hard, even in just the week that it is. That like,
yeah, it's man, it's gonna be a interesting year for us for E3. That's for sure. But yeah, it looked really good. Like I watched that demo probably 3 times by now. I think I watched more gameplay of Horizon than I played any game this week. It was awesome. I was like,
so good.
I was like, this is the game that I'm getting a PlayStation 5 for. This is the game I will buy the system for if they're available. But the thing is, it's coming to PS4 too. So if you have a PS4, you don't really need a PlayStation 5. But I sold my
But
PS4
that
to
looks
get
like a PS5 game.
Yeah, dude, just the detail, the detail in her hair and her face. Like I was seeing side by side comparisons too of the first game and this game. It's just like, man, like that first game looked amazing until you put the second game next to it, and you're just like, oh man, that looks dated. And man,
and just how the game flows too, like the motions, the characters, and the enemies, like everything just was so smooth. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
Imagine how cool it's going to be to use the DualSense controller with how the water mechanics are. Because, like, being able to see, like, kind of how the currents were moving. There was that spot where, like, the particles just start to float and you kind of feel that. I'm like, that's a perfect opportunity to use the DualSense to its full capacity right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the big things to honestly that I would like to, or that I'm looking forward to, is just seeing how they use the DualSense for stuff in that game, because like I'm glad that more, like, it seems like quite a bit of people are actually trying to do stuff in their games to really use that, because so many times in the past we've seen things like that just get thrown to the side right away, and it really is, it's a bummer coming from someone who absolutely loved Connect, like that. It had some really cool ideas and a lot of cool things that were done with it, but it just didn't go over well with everyone. I loved the cool, like, Sesame Street frickin', like, you could interact with the episodes, and like they had so many cool things that they did, but it just never got the love that honestly I think it deserved. But
this game is going to be awesome. I mean, from the little bit of the story that we got in this, I was kind of freaking out that we saw Aaron again, because I didn't think that they would bring him back. I kind of thought like he would stay with the original game, and that with Aloy moving to the west part of the U.S., presumably California, San Francisco area, obviously.
I mean, that map was pretty San Francisco, maybe like an LA-ish map.
It is, in fact, San Francisco. Guerrilla came back out right after the State of Play and showed a couple they put a couple of landmarks of San Francisco within the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was one in the trailer, but like, I freaking can't wait. I got to talk about the huge improvements we saw though, with like from the weapon system to we have a hang glide system, which is the one thing we needed last game.
They Breath of the Wild the.
And I'm fine with that.
I mean, I think on an episode of PAL Block, like kind of early on after Breath of the Wild came out, Ed and I talked about when are we going to start seeing like the major influences of Breath of the Wild on some of these games, and we talked about. I think the one that we see the most is we can now climb everything and anything in most games, but the hang gliding stuff and just some of the stuff, there is a lot. It seemed like there was a lot of influences from that game. Not like direct influences, but little subtle things, right. Which I think will make this game better. Like I think Horizon is Sony's best IP for me, right? Like I think it's for me, that is the game that I will buy a PlayStation for. It's that, man, I couldn't get over how colorful the game was. I couldn't get over how like amazing the robots looked. I like when you saw the one tribesman riding like one of the raptor style guys, and you're like, he was like commanding them, was like awesome. Like I couldn't get over it.
Well, until like how the feathers were moving within that. I mean, that's a completely new texture that we didn't see in the last game. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. I love the fact that they adapted the spear a little bit better for this game. Like, I am more of a ground and pound player in Horizon myself, where like I'd rather beat you all one-on-one close up than play from a distance. I just don't do that. So the fact that like they've added special abilities to her spear, like, dude, you've already got me hooked.
Yeah.
You've already got me in.
Dude.
I was always a distance player in Horizon.
I wanted to set traps and get up there and like hit people. Like I wanted to stun the enemies and run up and then hit them with the bow. I think a lot of that though is because like I played it. Like Zelda made me more of a kind of like a melee player, and I played Zelda before Horizon. And then with the recent Assassin's Creed games, a lot of that is really melee focused, right? So it just felt natural, especially because the control scheme in Horizon is set up the same way as the recent Assassin's Creed games. Mm-hmm. So,
well, and kind of Ghost of Tsushima did the same thing to me, where it was like Ghost of Tsushima is more ground and pound, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Mm-hmm. And I tried to use that exact same kind of mentality in Horizon. And this game looks like it's better fit for it, too. I also love the new creatures. I mean, the mammoth, like, it was cool to see that in the first trailer, but to actually see how, like, a fight with it's going to go down, like, I can't wait to defeat one.
Yeah, it was so cool. I'm excited. This easily became one of my... I mean, it was one of my most anticipated games. Right. Like, yeah, and now it's up there with Breath of the Wild 2 now. Like, it's just like... Those are the two games I want. Don't bother me when they come out.
Mm-hmm. So how long of how many hours do we think this campaign is going to be?
I bet it's about the same as the first game, right? Like they don't usually Sony, even with their bigger games, don't go like. I think it's going to be as long as you put time into it, right? Like the first game, you could beat the campaign in about 20, but I think I finished the game with like 70 hours. Right. It was my first platinum trophy, so. It's still my only platinum trophy too. So
I ironically have the one for Rocket League, and I still don't understand that. But
I'm probably gonna end up getting it. Just plan on getting it for PS4, but just because I don't know for sure when I plan on getting a PS5, but I know I do want to get one in the future. So, but. For now, I'm glad I don't have to drop the money to be able to still enjoy it. So
yeah, I mean, it seems like the first major title outside of Ratchet and Clank that's going to be PS5 kind of exclusive is God of War, right? Like I feel like that's kind of where they're headed, right? So
yeah.
I mean, not that Ratchet and Clank isn't like a major game because I feel like it is. It looks amazing, but I'm talking on like this style of game. Seems like God of War.
But I mean, there's like franchises, like God of War, Horizon, Last of Us used to be. Maybe not so much now. Uncharted.
See, I've never liked The Last of Us, so I don't really have a valid opinion on it.
Love the first one, couldn't stand the second one.
I loved the first one, didn't play the second one because I was scared.
As you should be.
Just give me another Until Dawn, and I'll buy a PS5.
I'm the guy that was like, man, I hope Naughty Dog makes another Uncharted because
I love Uncharted.
So good. Lost Legacy is so cool.
Lost Legacy is the best Uncharted. I will go out on a limb to say that.
All right, bud.
I mean, it's that and 2 are close, right? But I just, man, it proved to me that you can do Uncharted without Drake, which I think is what they're going to do, right?
Like which is awesome. But then we can't think about that without thinking of the train scene in Uncharted 2, where it's just that's just a perfect game.
Dude, the train scene in 2 is very good.
Yeah.
The more I think about Uncharted, the more I realize that I really like those games, right? Like I have issues with them for sure, but
oh yeah,
man, just I really hope
they're just downright fun.
I really hope Machine Games take some notes from Uncharted when they're making their Indiana Jones game. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's essentially what it needs to be.
Yeah. So, on that note, Horizon looks great. I hope everybody plays it. If they can, if they're able to.
I'm excited, but honestly, Biomutant is holding me over till then because it's got those same feels as those games. I'm telling you right now, it's right up there with Breath of the Wild and Horizon for me.
I'm debating.
Jesse with the hot takes. He's been hanging out with Ed too long. You feeling okay there, Jesse?
Do I play Horizon for a fifth? Do I beat it for a fifth time?
I'm thinking about going back and getting it on PC just to play it, even though I don't really care about PC gaming.
I'm thinking about it because I've only beaten Frozen Wilds twice, and I'd love to do another playthrough of that.
Yeah, dude, man, Horizon, it's gonna be so good. Can we just do a whole podcast on Horizon one day, Logan? Can we just sit down and talk about
I'm
Horizon?
pretty sure.
Like,
I'm pretty sure that they're going to on Crossroads.
I mean, look, I will drop entertainment stuff for a week and just do a whole week of Horizon content.
Yeah. So, all right. Some other announcements that were, well, I guess announced last week. That was a terrible little segue there. But you know what? You guys will get over it. It's
almost 11 o'clock your time, dude. Like, no worries.
It's fine. Sonic's 30th anniversary stream happened. That I know people have their own issues with Sonic, as do I, but that original or that first trailer that came out that was like, we're gonna do something for Sonic's 30th, and that trailer was just like, it gave me a lot of feels from when I was a kid, because I was a Sega kid growing up, right? Like, I had an NES, but I also had a Genesis, and I played that a lot more. Spent a lot of time with Sonic 1, 2, and 3, Sonic Spinball, Sonic and Knuckles. I thought was the coolest game because you could put another game inside of it.
Hey, I know how these Vita kids feel, because I had a Game Gear, man. That was
I had a Game Gear too.
That was my thing. Yeah,
batteries ran out in 8 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hope you bought stock in Duracell if you had a Game Gear. But that trailer, man, it just gave me a lot of flashbacks to sitting behind my parents' couches, like, because like the way our living room used to be set up, they put a TV behind the couch to let me play video games while they were watching like real TV, and like I would just sit behind their couch and play Genesis.
Yeah.
I know Sonic's most recent outings are not good, but
Not great.
The best thing to come out of Sonic in the last 15 years was the movie. So,
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Wait. Not Sonic
great.
Mania.
I mean,
Not
Sonic
Sonic
Mania.
Mania.
Sonic Mania was good.
Yeah, Sonic Mania was good.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
It didn't. I mean, it didn't push anything forward, in my opinion. Like, it didn't
It was a love
okay.
letter to those old Sonic
like.
games.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say about it. I would prefer more games like Sonic Mania than the stuff that they've been churning out the last 10 years.
20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I was
say
trying to be nice.
Dreamcast.
I was trying to be nice because I feel like the last good Sonic game happened on the Dreamcast.
Yep.
And that's probably a stretch.
Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast is probably the only 3D Sonic I really liked.
Exactly.
Sonic Mania was awesome. It was a good throwback, and what was cool about it was a lot of people that made fan-made games online, and Sega brought them in, and they developed Sonic Mania with these people. So that's like a really cool thing about it.
And in my abject opinion, I feel like Sega should just let the fans handle it.
Yeah, for sure, because they did a damn good job. But I watched this Sonic anniversary. I was a Sega kid too, so the only thing that really jumped out to me during this whole thing was the Sonic Origins collection, which was pretty cool. It's going to be like Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and then the Sonic CD. So like I thought that was cool. Sonic Colors doesn't really do anything for me. And like all the cameo stuff was pretty cool, but again, I'm not a big Sonic fan, so it doesn't do much. But it looks like they leaked a little like Minecraft teaser with Sonic as well. But yeah, I mean it was cool. I think Sonic fans are happy, and they teased some big game at the end of it, but there wasn't any information.
It's what was it? Sonic 2022. They kind of data mined some stuff off of the Sonic Team website, and supposedly it's called Sonic Rangers.
Okay,
and it's like their next. It's like kind of like a pseudo sequel / reboot of Sonic Forces, I guess, where like it's going to be a mixture of it. It's going to be that weird 3D but super fast until you run into something and then it just stops. Right, it's going to be another. They need to slow Sonic down, right? I feel like what they need to do with Sonic is like, yeah, you make levels designed around the speed, but you also, if you want people to start taking Sonic seriously as a game again, not just like a furry cult fest or whatever you want to make it, like I think that Sonic needs to slow down, take some notes from, not even from Mario, but just basic platformers like maybe Spyro or Crash. Like, I feel like putting Sonic in a Crash style game would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's still 3D, right? But it's more of it harkens more back to those 2D games, right? Where you're kind of really only moving forward or backwards or whatever, right? Instead of making like an open world weird game, right? I feel like that's where Sonic needs to be, is in a Crash style game.
You could always test it with Crash Team Racing too, because I mean Sonic did have a racing game that was fairly popular.
Yeah. Sonic Racing Transformed was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I know that they have plans to make a sequel to Crash Team Racing within the, I think it's projected within the next 2 years. So it's like there's an easy spot to get some copies of the original game sold again on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you said it, Corey, on the other show when you were recording this week, like if they made a Sonic Spinball and they did it like Yoku's Island, that would be the coolest.
That would be awesome.
Like I that's all I want. I honestly just want, give me Sonic, make it where you're doing the side-scrolling stuff, but then it throughout the game to solve puzzles and stuff, you do the pinball part, which like just like Yoku's Island, but just all Sonic stuff, and have your own stuff. It would be awesome.
Even get that team to do it, right? Like I feel like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, like the bosses could be like pinball style, like bosses, like where you have to hit ramps and things to be able to attack, and like it honestly would be an awesome game.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I loved Yoku's Island, and to have a Sonic version of that, I'm completely just take my money.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything else to say about Sonic before we move on? I'll always pull for Sonic to be good, but I'm not really expecting anything.
Yeah. I mean, he's an icon. He's a cool character. I've always liked him.
Tuned.
Like I loved the cartoons. Like honestly, like those cartoons were great, I thought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things where the platform it's really hard. They've kind of got themselves stuck in something that, like if they change, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be happy,
Yeah.
And it's just it's an unfortunate situation, but
before we go on, if you want to wrap up of anything we talk about on the show, like Horizon, Sonic, we're about to talk about Dragon Quest, Switch Pro rumors. There's wrap-ups on the website at bossrushgames.com. You can look it all up and check out trailers and stuff. So but we're going to move into the Dragon Quest portion of the show. The 35th anniversary stream happened. They announced 3 games. The biggest one, actually, I think they announced more than 3. I think they announced like 5 or 6. But the 3 big ones were Dragon Quest 12 with a worldwide simultaneous release when it comes out. Dragon Quest Treasures, which follows 2 characters from Dragon Quest 11 on some sort of adventure. Looks kind of like looks more like it would be on Switch, like a Switch-focused game. They announced a couple mobile games, I think. Dragon Quest 10 and 10 offline. 10 is famously their Wii MMO that never came out here. So that's some 3 things you never would think. Nintendo Online, Wii MMO. Man. And then the one that looks the most interesting to me is the Dragon Quest III remake, which is done in the Octopath Traveler engine, the 2D HD engine, which looks if you haven't seen that,
so
dude,
good.
Yeah, that's the game I'm looking forward to the most.
Man.
So
yeah.
Yeah, Dan, tell me about this Dragon Quest III remake, because I think that's the one that I think most of us are excited for.
I think that's the only one I'm excited about. Like, I love the art style of it. I've never been big into the Dragon Quest series. I don't know why, but they've just never hooked me for being such a JRPG
because they've been
fan.
on Nintendo handhelds, and you sadly informed us in the Nintendo Pal Block chat that you never owned a handheld besides the Game Boy.
The Game Boy Color, that was my last one.
Wait, is this the reason why Dan's not on tomorrow's episode?
Yeah, Ed fired him.
Ed has fired me. He's kicked me off the show. That's why
he's here tonight.
But yeah, the HD 2D thing looks awesome, and it looks so good in this game. I'm definitely picking it up just for the fact of it's art, guys. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you call a callback, everybody. Yeah. I want to say, like, since Octopath Traveler looked amazing, but since then, the projects that they put out on this engine, like Project Triangle Strategy and this, like, make that engine, like, they make Octopath Traveler look ancient, because they look so much better, because I feel like they got used to the engine and, you know, maybe upgraded some features or whatever. But this trailer, I'm watching it right now, it looks so good. I'm just like, God, give me this game so bad. I just want it so bad.
I love at the beginning of the trailer, it has like the 8-bit
at
the beginning too, and then it just like flips to the HD 2D, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's so good. Love it.
It looks great.
For Dragon Quest 12, which was probably the other biggest announcement here, they just showed the logo, which, okay, you wanted to make an announcement, and they said more announcements on that game before the anniversary stream, and all they gave us was a logo. And I was like, oh boy, you're doing that. You're doing that. So that was kind of disappointing. 11 was pretty good. I played some of it on Switch. It was very good from what I played. So they're saying that 12 is a little bit darker in tone, which is a first for the Dragon Quest series. Seems like Square is getting a little dark. We saw the Final Fantasy 16 trailer, which was also very dark. But I don't really have anything else to say on Dragon Quest. Is anybody else excited for any of this? Nobody else really said anything. Sorry, didn't really ask anybody else.
Unfortunately,
Logan looks bored.
Dragon Quest hasn't moved the needle for me since the NES days. So, you know, like Dragon Quest 3, the remake, has my attention, but I can't guarantee it's going to be a buy. I can't.
Dragon Quest 11, like, people were losing their minds over this game, and I've been like slogging through it for 2 years. I even got to the big plot twist, and I'm still didn't get hooked, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't it for me. I'm done.
Yeah. Logan, if Dragon Quest had a High School Musical skin, would you play it?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, I'm in.
High School Musical Quest,
we're all
the Quest, the musical, the game.
We're all in this together, man.
Logan's trying to get me to watch High School Musical.
I asked him how many views I have to get on one of my reviews to get him to watch an episode.
What's the number?
He hasn't given it to me.
I haven't given him one because, well, I'm afraid he's going to hit it because it's High School Musical.
Is it better than Camp Rock?
Oh, dude! Hold on, Camp Rock. Oh God, let me tell you something here. There's a reason I lead the entertainment side. Camp Rock was the Jonas Brothers. We signed into too big of a deal to not use you, so we're gonna give you Allison Stoner, even though she's kind of on the decline. Go for it. Have fun with it. God, Camp Rock sucked.
Wow.
Well, after reading Logan's articles, I know I don't have to watch the show, so that's good.
Right? Yes. Yes.
They talk about great things. I mean, this past episode talked about acceptance and body image. Yeah.
And now I know all about it. I'm good.
But you need to see Big Red be a hero, man. You need that moment.
Hey,
all I
Logan.
have to do is go out in the sun for an hour, and I'll be Big Red, and then I can be a hero someday too.
Like Logan, go ahead. I'm gonna give you your next show to put on Q list. And even though like it's a current show, I have a funny feeling it won't be on for like another. It might get one more season, but that Girls 5 Eva. Put that on Q list.
Man, see, we have too many good ideas for Q list right now.
I know. Austin and I are trying to do a Mighty Ducks one.
Do a Mighty Ducks one.
Dude, the show is so good.
Yes.
Yeah,
The show is really good. I like it.
We've got
it's really good.
we've got how I
Gordon
Met
Bombay in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
You know what? Fine. I'll do the Marvel thing by myself.
No, I'm gonna do that with you too,
Marvel
Logan.
thing, man. Like,
Hey, LeRon, with Wednesday nights kind of opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney Plus has practically every single one of them.
I know. Except for the Hulk
Except for the
and Spider-Man. But
Wait. I thought Spider-Man was on.
Spider-Man's coming.
it's
Spider-Man's
going to Netflix,
Yeah.
and then a year after it hits Netflix, it's coming to Disney Plus. So,
Oh, okay.
anyways,
we got like How I Met Your Mother coming up.
I
on
know.
Q
Thanks
list,
for
and
inviting me to that one, Logan. It's my favorite show of all time. It's fine.
You have never mentioned that, and
I
we are
did.
recording
I did on the
we are-
last episode. On the, I
Are
did.
you off tomorrow with it being the holiday?
No, I'm doing Pow Block tomorrow.
No. I'm talking like 2 p.m. is when we're recording.
Oh no, I can't do things like that.
Okay.
I got 2 kids, man.
Fair enough. I will tell you this: Josh and I go in. Like we get to a really great talk about Victoria on this first episode. I can't wait.
Wow.
She should have been the mother.
All right. Man, Dan walks away as soon as we're getting into the topic I specifically put on here for him.
For him.
Everybody's yawning. Stop yawning. I get it.
Stop it.
I get it. Yeah. I have to edit all this after this, by the way, and do a show with Jesse, so you guys can stop your yawning. I've got
show.
I've got
Kind
12
of a
more
show,
energy drinks under my table to get through tonight. So
How do you do that? Hold on. How do you do that, man? Like,
what?
how do you drink an energy drink and then go to bed?
And go to bed. Yes.
easy.
Like, I've got a giant espresso right here that, like, I have to stay up late tonight because I have to be at work 2:30 in the morning on Tuesday, so I need to sleep all day tomorrow. But, like, how do you do this?
Literally, caffeine has a reverse effect on me.
What?
And how
Yeah.
do you not have kidney stones? That's the other question here.
Water.
I drink a lot of water.
Lots of water. I used to have kidney stones, but I wasn't drinking water.
How do you not have heart murmurs then? Drinking all those damn monsters.
Don't worry about it.
Because it doesn't make me like get
energy.
You got to be there for your kids in the long term, people. Okay, you know.
Yeah. To be fair, this is only my second one of the day.
But you said you have 4 more under your desk, so I'm afraid.
Right. Second
do.
one of the day, and an average monster is what? How many grams of caffeine is it? Like 310?
Like 200.
I don't know.
It's 200. I forget what it was.
Doesn't say.
It does at the bottom.
That bottom doesn't count. It's in small print. It doesn't count. Don't need to read it.
It's 140 milligrams.
86 milligrams per dude. No.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, Dan, thanks for joining us. We're about to get into the last topic here that was brought on here specifically for you and me to talk about since you won't be on Pow Block tomorrow. Since Ed fired you, I need to talk to somebody who believes in this rumor as much as I do.
Hey, I do actually.
Me too.
I
don't even think it's a rumor anymore.
Nope, this is for me and Dan. LeRon, you can go.
Can I say my one snippet and then I'll shut up.
Let me introduce it first. Let me introduce the topic first. Switch Pro. So there's been a lot of Switch Pro rumors this week. Really kind of heating up, a lot of intense rumors about an announcement happening probably this week, maybe. A lot of fingers are pointing to Tuesday. A lot of people are like big sources like Bloomberg and Eurogamer and Video Games Chronicle are all pointing to Tuesday. Okay, Logan, say your piece.
It would be a crime not to call this the Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I
But
think,
they're going to call it the new Switch.
I think they're just going to call it the Nintendo Switch and just phase out the old one, which is the rumor.
That's
continue
my
new-
line of thinking.
They're going to
Or
continue
what about
the new
what about Switch Plus?
I mean, I could see them doing that too. But
Switch plus you.
also, fun fact, did you know that when they were naming the Switch, they originally had 2 eyes in there because it would say Wii inside the name Switch?
Oh,
And they
They're
would,
going to call it.
yeah,
it would be the Switch.
yeah. That wouldn't put it past Nintendo to actually put a product out like that, though.
You know what? If Nintendo had done that, I'd have called them dumb. Just
You
dumb.
call them dumb every day anyway. What difference is it?
Sorry, they set themselves up for constant ridicule. How am I not supposed to make fun of them?
Look! I am loving the hell out of my Nintendo product right now, and then there's
Because
about to be another.
because it
You're
has
loving
Monster
the hell
Hunter
out
on
of
it.
your Capcom product. Correct.
Call it like it is, sir.
And don't lie to us and say you're going to continue playing on the Switch when it comes to PC. You're totally deleting it.
Okay. Here's how they can guarantee that I continue to play on the Switch. If they don't have any type of cross save ability, if they put cross save in it, which I have a funny feeling they might, because they're going to test this out for the PC version of Monster Hunter 6 whenever that gets announced. Then they have a chance of me still playing it on the Switch.
Yeah.
But I'm in this weird flux right now because Monster Hunter Stories 2 comes out, and it comes out the same day for both the Switch and the PC. So I have a moment of truth like situation coming up here, because what am I going to do?
I feel like Monster Hunter Stories 2 is going to
play better on
like a Switch game.
Yeah, it will play better on the Switch. Yeah. I feel that way too, but
it's like a game you'll be able to chip away like 20 minutes here and there and get a few fights in, and then
But you know
move
what?
on.
Damn it, Capcom's probably just found a way to get $120 off of my ass. I don't know.
Probably. Dan, how do you feel about this rumor, though? Because I think, at least in our Nintendo Power Block chat, you and I seem to be the only ones that are really, like, amped for this rumor.
So I need to find a way to get in line first for this thing when they announce it on Tuesday, because I can't wait for this. They definitely have to announce it before E3, right? Like,
I feel like it would be smart. That way they can just focus on games. And if they have third-party partners waiting for games to be announced, this would be a prime product to put out, especially with Series X and PlayStation 5 being, let's be honest, a lot more powerful than this current Switch, at least.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, with third-party games and games that they want to show off, I'm going to say Breath of the Wild 2. Mm-hmm. Maybe some people think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to come before 2030. I don't. But, like, yeah, they have to put it out before E3 so it doesn't overshadow everything they're doing in E3, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're going to phase out the current Switch, because once the Pro is out, there's really no reason to have it if there's a Switch Lite.
Right.
Switch Lite is the budget one. It's $200. It's going to play all the same games Switch does, and it's going to be the lower version of what they have right now. So I'm all in. I think this is happening. I think it's happening.
I have some questions. And these are legit questions. Don't think I'm about to troll Nintendo or whatnot. These are legit questions.
Will Monster Hunter run at 60 frames a second?
No, I doubt it. First question. Do you think they're going to wind up doing... they're going to phase out the original Switch system. Probably. Who knows? Does that mean that the old style Joy-Cons are also going to go bye-bye?
So
I think they make too much money off of those to, the point where I think they have to design this console around the existing accessories, because Joy-Cons are the Joy-Cons, and you can buy 7 billion different color combinations, right? And I don't think they want to screw over the hardcore. But with that said, I think that they possibly could, because they did design a new Wii remote, right? And like Zelda needed it. A lot of those later Wii titles needed it. The Wii Motion Plus control, and they sold the little, like, I don't know, hubcap thing at the bottom for normal Wii remotes. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like with the way Nintendo's going in terms of accessories, they won't redesign it, because it feels like Nintendo's been super efficient with the Switch in terms of accessories, right? How many different Pro controllers do you say, man, they could have made a Pro controller for that. They could have made a Pokemon Pro controller. And they've made what? Splatoon, Xenoblade, Monster Hunter, and Smash. Those are the 4 special edition Pro controllers.
I think they could. I mean, if anything, I could see them now going like the Series XS route, where like there are things updated with it, and your old Joy-Cons will work with it, but they could have better, improved Joy-Cons that look similar.
That's what I think that's what I was trying to say. That's what
I've been reading. It's like they're going to make new Joy-Cons for the Switch Pro, but the current ones are still going to be accessible for the new system.
That's what I was going to say. Is that's what I was trying to get at, was like, they could at least redesign the insides of the Joy-Cons so where drift doesn't happen, or maybe the infrared sensor works better or something. But if you have 4, 6, 8 Joy-Cons lying around because you have 12 kids and no life, they'll work on the current system.
Yeah.
Okay. My other question is, are we going to see any specific advancements on the dock? If they are even going to have a dock, I feel like they're going to have a dock, because that's kind of one of the other Switches, other gimmicks for the Switch.
Right.
But because like I look at my dock here for Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, we need a dedicated Ethernet port. We need at least another USB port on this thing.
Well, there's a rumor that it's going to have Ethernet and USB 3.0 on it, and I feel like the dock is going to have extra processing power, because the console itself is still going to project in 720p, right? The screen is still going to be 720p. The rumor is they're eliminating the bezel around the screen, so there's going to be no bezel. The screen's going to be a little bit bigger, but the unit's going to be about the same size. But to me, I feel like the dock is going to have a little bit extra processing power in it to make it, because the rumor is it's going to be a 4K console, right? With whatever their version of DLSS is, right? So that's the rumor. So I feel like the dock.
Here's the other thing with that too. You can't buy a Nintendo Switch dock anywhere. They're phasing these things out. So
exactly, and my dock is acting a damn fool sometimes.
Yeah. So they're definitely going to have a high processor in one where they're phasing this out, and I think this also kind of just proves that they are trying to phase out the current Switch as well.
Yeah. Well, what my original wish was that a lot of the power would actually be in the dock. So if you wanted to, you could. And if you didn't want to buy the whole entire new setup, that you could get the dock and put the old one in it, and it would like boost things only on TV up.
I don't see that happening. I feel like that's going to be highly incompatible.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see like what a new it's still going to be a handheld system. Right, so it's not going to run at these crazy frame rates, but I wonder if it will fix a lot of it. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of my favorite games, but it had some moments where you're like, damn, this looks like crap. And I want to see if this new iteration takes these issues and makes them a little bit better, or if like Age of Calamity is even playable. And
I think part of the thing to remember too is that, like remember the demo for the the new Unreal Engine and stuff, where, you know, like with Unreal Engine 5, like they said right out, like games like, or consoles like Switch and older consoles would be able to do ray tracing without having to have all this power because it's done on a software level.
Yeah, it's on the cloud, which they started doing the cloud demos with like Control and Hitman on Switch, and they looked really good and they played really, really well.
Yeah.
And Nintendo just upgraded their online system as well. So we'll probably see a lot of cloud gaming with this new Switch as well.
Yeah, just certain things, would be done in the cloud, but not enough that you're having to rely on a massive internet connection, you know, for certain things, like where it's just, like some of that gets dumped off a little bit. But I think, you know, and that's kind of like the way it seems like things are going, you know, like where things are getting blurred a little bit. But I do think that, you know, like with all these things that are kind of in the process, that things will, you know, be able to improve without having to have massive amounts of power. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, they're still not going to stand up to a PC, you know, that's got like all the bells and whistles, but you know, there'll be ways to help those things along a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I really hope that this just really improves the gameplay of a lot of the games that I play. Like even if you go back to Breath of the Wild, that game still chugs a little bit in certain areas, and
especially like areas you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah. Like I could blow up like 5 enemies with a bomb, and the grass could set on fire, and it runs fine, and then you're just kind of running between, you know, the split mountains or whatever, and you're just kind of running through it, and it's like struggles to get hit 20 frames a second. You're like, oh boy. Just let me get to this town. So, but that's it for that. I hope it gets announced this week, because I will be doing a reactions with someone when this gets announced. So Dan.
This guy Raider.
Yeah, we're starting. Ed fired everybody, so we're starting our own Nintendo podcast. It's called Not Ed's Podcast.
It's called Ed's Fast Food.
Oh god, Ed's Iron Stomach, the Nintendo podcast.
Ed's Iron Stomach.
He still hasn't messaged me back, by the way. I was hoping we would read his comment on the air,
but he'll get right to it as we're finishing.
Right.
Good sign off.
That's what she said.
Oh god. Wow. Anyway, we have one question from the audience this week. I'm just trying to not think about that right now. David Wayne Nystrom, he's the author of An Arrow Without a Hero. You should check out that his writing in his book out yet? I don't think it's out yet. I think he's still trying to figure out some things. But his stuff's on. I think it's on Zelda Dungeon. Some of his stuff. I know he has a YouTube channel. You should check it out. It's very, very cool. He asks if there's a video game set in your hometown, what kind of game would it be, and what would the main character be like? Well, I grew up in Hartville, Ohio, which was an Amish town until about the mid 1990s. So it would be an Amish farming simulator with a market that you could sell your goods at.
All right. Hometown. Okay, so I was born in Thomasville, North Carolina, and back then it used to be known as the furniture capital of the United States. So I guarantee you that that there would be like a business tycoon type game for my hometown, built around the furniture industry. So we'd be the greedy corporations that are knocking down forests for lumber and stuff, just to make everybody's bed frames and couches and things like that. And it wound up being like a SimCity game where someone has to deal with people protesting, environmentalists and all this stuff, like energy efficiency, all this stuff. So that's the way I figured my hometown would be. Thomasville, North Carolina. They still do furniture out there, but it's not as big as it used to be. Not anymore.
Too bad.
Mine would be
what would the main character be like? Oh yeah, like the main character, like I said, it'd be a Sims type game. So you would be the governor / god of this whole thing, and you deal with the industry and the people that are around it. So yeah, there you go.
Basically, it would be ActRaiser.
Oh yeah, hey, hell yeah.
Instead of using magic spells, you'd use like nail guns and chairs to fight enemies off.
And hot glue.
Yeah.
And hot glue. Don't forget.
For me, mine would basically be like the game After Party. Just the whole thing is about drinking games and drinking, and it's a college town here. Like it's a massive like music arts kind of college here. Our whole College Avenue there, the downtown is just like a mile stretch of bars and restaurants and little things here and there, but there's a lot of bars down there. Like every other building is a bar essentially, and so it's a lot of drinking and stuff going on in this town. So it would be like an RPG essentially of just like going through and like a college simulator, I guess.
Nice. I grew up in a smaller town in Massachusetts, and there was a lot of weed going on there. So I think you would be a soccer mom trying to climb the ranks in the weed selling ring in my hometown, and you would have to sell to everybody. So
So in other words, literally the show Weeds.
Kind of
is a video game,
but not as fancy or cookie cutter of a town.
Yeah.
Would it be weed, or would it also be like weed adjacent, like hemp, CBD, and all that stuff?
Ooh, maybe nowadays
essential
it would be
oils.
Weed adjacent. Yeah, essential oils and crystals.
God.
Dang. You'd see for mine. You'd have to be something barbecue related. Like you come up as like a it's an RPG where like you start off as like a dishwasher for like Arthur Bryant's. You move through the ranks. You go through like Gates, Joe's, Slaps, all these different places until you start your own barbecue shop, and you're selling out of the back of a minivan for like the first like 2 years, and then yeah.
In the back of a minivan.
I'd play that.
That's some suspect barbecue.
Based on the way Logan talks about cooking on the internet, I would have said it's an Overcooked ripoff.
Right? Yeah, like Cooking Mama or something.
Well, then part of it would be like Paperboy, where you like you gotta deliver it
tossing it through people's living room windows.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do is, we are a big sports town, so like you could do like a MLB RPG, something like that. Or what was the game where they're stuck? It's the more you drink, the better you got throughout the game. You could do that.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Not that one.
Well, after Party was the one where you're drinking, like it's all just drinking games.
After Party,
I didn't know.
You could do that for like if you're a member of the Cauldron, which is our Sporting Kansas City soccer team supporter group. Like you're just constantly just in a state of drunkenness.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank everybody for watching us live this evening. If you didn't catch us live, you can catch us on Monday mornings on podcast services like iTunes, Spotify. Please listen on Spotify. Our Spotify numbers are really low. You can check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com. Check out Boss Rush Entertainment. Logan, where can we find you?
Find me at Logan Corkins, or find me anywhere on Boss Rush Entertainment stuff.
LeRon.
Find me on social media, Exodus803, EXODUS803, twitch.tv/Exodus803 as well, and youtube.com/Exodus803. And Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Crossroads PlayStation Podcast.
Jesse?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS, and you can also find me on Arsenal X podcast.
Dan?
I've recently been fired from Nintendo Powerblock, so I'm not going to plug that one. But you can find me on Twitter at DCDM99, or you could see some of my articles on BossRushGames.com.
Hey, Dan, it's time. Come to Crossroads. It's time.
Yeah, no. Hold on. I already got first dibs on him. He's coming Tuesday with us.
Okay. You can have him this Tuesday.
Every other weekend.
No, we are not doing the divorce couple thing, okay? Co-parenting exists.
Okay. So Logan, if I get you a month's worth of barbecue, can I have them for 30 days?
Bitch, I can make better barbecue. I don't want that North Carolina bull crap.
Ooh.
Damn it. I wish I was really hoping I'd get traded for barbecue.
Trade. Wow. Never tried.
God. Oh my gosh, let's get out of here. You can find me at IamCoreyHC on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting Tower Casuals, our Destiny show. You can find me on Powerblock. You can find me on various other things here on BossRushGames.com. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you consume our show. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye. See ya.